Oh hey, didn't see you there. I was just thinking about how one of my favorite things about anime is the fact that there's no Z-axis. We worry about left, right, up, down, but we never worry about forward and... I can't believe I hate anime now.
CGI, or computer-generated imagery, has been a practice in filmmaking since the 90s and is a topic that I have no idea how I'm going to get to 2 pages without just changing the text size in Word. While most have a specific idea of what CGI is, it is a lot broader than you expect. It's pretty much when computer graphics are used in any form in a piece of entertainment, like if you play a video game, if you look closely at this environment, this rock is a 3D model. You heard it here first, even video games have CGI. Or if you've ever watched, what's it called? Movie? Chances are there is CGI used for an outer-world effect. Dear God, have you seen a Marvel movie? I'm pretty sure the location scouting for those has just evolved into looking up the biggest green screen on Amazon. But enough of this indie stuff, I'm here to talk about the world-renowned properties like the Kirby anime.
Yeah, that's a character. What the hell is that?
Yeah, it's thing that helps mediums of entertainment. Yeah, it's in this medium of entertainment. CGI is typically used in anime as a tool to make production easier or cleaner, such as background crowds, the backgrounds themselves, and general effects, or to make more fluid fight scenes. In this way, it's at its best when you hardly notice it, but what if you wanted to use this tool that's primarily used for polish, or to make life easier, and try to make an entire anime out of it?
I mean, how much do you draw just using a crayon?
I think we all know that CGI is not a perfect tool. You know how there have been shows that randomly pulled out painful CG and just ruined the whole shot? Imagine that, but everything. Yeah, that's what we call pulling a Berserk 2016. You don't want to do that. The first show I want to bring up under this topic is the exact reason I don't like to look in my trash can when I throw something away. There's a beautiful irony in the fact that one of the best looking manga of all time made, dear lord, one of the worst looking anime. Berserk, typically subtitled with its release year because this exists, takes place after the Golden Age movies, but not right after because the Lost Children arcs kinda. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. To really nail the impact of this dumpster fire of dumpster fires, we first have to talk about the manga. It costs $15 per volume. That converts to
12.5 McChickens.
The Berserk manga is one of the most well-respected and well-regarded manga of all time, creating decades of fans because I'll be damned, that's how long it's been going on. Its art style and story are praised to high heavens, and it's just begging for an anime by a passionate studio. And were those begs ever answered? Yeah. With laughter. There have been 2 other adaptations of Berserk, one by OLM Inc. in 1997 and one by Studio 4 Degrees C in 2012 of the Golden Age movies. But those just covered the initial arc of the series, leaving 26 volumes of the manga untouched, so there are eyes on any form of Berserk releases, and, well, yeah. Berserk 2016 is one of the most infamous anime of all time, and for very good reason. To put it critically and intellectually,
it is awful.
This is the example of why people wince when CGI in anime comes up. Because initially brainstormed for it to be the best way to get this level of detail animated, it proceeded to not do that. There's a huge list of reasons that this anime was terrible, and we're gonna talk about them. To start, the models of the characters themselves look horrible, like not nearly enough time has been put into converting the character designs of the series into 3D. They just look like they're not finished, like it's supposed to be a rough prototype of what Guts should look like and they just ended up rolling with it. And even if you wanted to make the argument that the designs would be difficult to do well, Koei Tecmo did a good job of Berserk and the Band of Hawks look. Like, look at these 2 images side by side. The anime's model doesn't even look good enough for a throwaway cash grab game. I may not know what I'm talking about. Here, let me try to make it myself.
Guys, I made a cube.
At least we got 2 pretty good openings out of it, but if I stay on the page for 1 minute and 31 seconds, I get seasick. Yeah, another advantage of CGI is the fact that you don't have to draw new frames for the camera moving, since all of this is being loaded at the same time. It's just a matter of camera positioning, which is fantastic for dynamic shots. But Berserk decided to do the equivalent of pushing a camera down a hill for every shot humanly possible. I understand the anime has a habit of being still, even to a point of just having lip flaps moving, but is this really the way to beat that? It just put a horrible taste in everyone's mouth, which is unfortunate. CGI and in general 3D animation doesn't have to look bad if people know what they're doing. Look at the scenes from Attack on Titan. These wouldn't be possible purely hand-drawn, and they look stellar, and one of the best fight scenes in recent anime from Demon Slayer is hella CGI. This can look good as long as it's a choice to use it and not a shortcut to make one model instead of drawing a complicated design multiple times. I don't want to leave this topic on the note of saying CG's for the details and nothing else. If utilized right, it can be incredible and it can bring a more natural feeling to a show, or it can let the visuals do what the hell ever they want. While not anime, I love well done fight scenes in RWBY having this pose-to-pose animation setup that takes full advantage of not needing one of these. But if you want the best example of good 3D anime, look no further than Land of the Lustrous.
It's quite the hidden gem. Get it? They're rock people. Hidden gem. Man, I am hilarious.
Because it was cursed to be on the PS Vita streaming services, that being Amazon Prime, and the less known High Dive, and the fact that first impressions were...
Oh, that's CGI.
Not a lot of people hopped on board, which is just a huge shame because this show is the perfect example of what CGI anime could be. This wasn't a cost-cutting tool or an excuse to make a show look different compared to what was around. The use of 3D animation was intentional and specifically chosen to adapt this manga. A show where characters commonly break apart, have fluid attacks, and just look this unique would have been difficult to nail as well in traditional animation, and there were opportunities taken to add that extra it factor to the visuals. Hell, when a light source is near a character's hair, the light passes through it like how it would be if you held a gem to that kind of light. Couple that with the fact the camera moves fluidly in a way that doesn't give people motion sickness, and the animation in general is just great. This is what 3D animation can be, and honestly, this could be the stop of the stigma that if it's noticeable, it's bad CGI that even I'm guilty of. Check 934 words ago to confirm that opinion for yourself.
Okay, so we don't like 3D animation. 2D animation's pretty good. I know how to beat that one. Check out my 1D animation. I think it's pretty good.